Hey everyone, this is Jeremy Parish for OneUp.com, looking at an import hands-on preview of Slime Mori Mori Dragon Quest 3, aka Rocket Slime 3. You're wondering, wait, was there a second Rocket Slime? And yes, actually the one that came to America on Nintendo DS was the second game in the series. The original was a GBA game, never came to the US, so it goes. The 3DS one hasn't been confirmed for the US yet, but I have a feeling it'll be here before too long. If you happen to play the original Rocket Slime, or the second one that came to the US, whatever, this game will be instantly familiar. It has, polygon graphics and sprites on top of that, but that's really the only main difference in how it plays, or how it looks, because the 3D graphics. But really, the core play mechanics are exactly the same as they were on DS. You have a slime, you can stretch them to attack things and bump them and then put them on top of your head and carry them around. Every level you go to is filled with these train tracks with mine carts, and you toss things on the mine carts to take it back to your home base. It's really just kind of a Zelda-ish adventure, very similar in tone and style, although it doesn't have the tools and puzzle solving that Zelda does. It's much more straightforward. Your skills are all kind of basic up front. You can jump, you can hover. That's about it. Very simple. But, it's also very fun. I described this game as cool the other day, and then I immediately corrected myself because it's not cool. It's very cute. It's very fun. But definitely not a hardcore game. But I don't know anyone who doesn't like Rocket Slime, and it's easy to understand why. Just look at how happy everything is. You're a little grinning slime character, and you capture enemies, and once you beat them up and take them on the minecarts, they join you. They come live in your town. Who can hate that? Really, the big difference between this game and the DS game is, besides the 3D effect, is the fact that instead of having the big tank battles to break up the action, which was kind of the gimmick in the DS game, this time you have a boat. Everything is all sea-based. And this is really where the game kind of stands apart from previous games, because it's much more of a true RPG. I mean, you get onto this boat and all of a sudden you're sailing around the ocean, picking up little things to add to your boat. You can upgrade your boat and so on and so forth. But as you're sailing around the ocean, there's a map on the bottom screen. See, there we go, a map. And there on the top screen, you can see sort of random encounters on the ocean. You get into these ocean battles, and they work basically like the tank battles from the previous game. They'll be very, very familiar. The point is to break down the enemy's defenses and basically launch things in a cannon at the bad guys. So there we go. I tossed a 1,000-ton weight and a steel I-beam at the bad guys. There goes another 1,000-ton weight. He's a tough little slime, really. Whoops. And if you see, actually it's kind of boring to look at just the top. But if you see the bottom screen, I'm loading stuff into cannons, a variety of things, and then on the top screen you can see the progress of the battle as I send things back and forth. And my boat has 148 hit points out of 156. Their boat has 15 hit points out of 23. So it's kind of an unbalanced battle, I think you could say. There are 2 screens to the boat combat, and there's also planks, which don't really come into play until you get a little further into the battle. Oh, actually, it looks like I'm to that point. Yeah, I've knocked their health down to 0, and they're still firing at me. They haven't been defeated yet, but now that they're down at 0, you can see that there is a rope between the two screens, or between the 2 boats. And so I climb across that rope. Oops. Helps if I pay attention to where I'm going, huh? Well, okay, I can climb the rope, but what I can also do is just launch Rocket here into a cannon. Yeah, there we go. And he'll fly on over to the opposing boat. And once he's there, they continue firing at me, but they're not doing a lot of damage. Now that I'm there, my goal is to avoid the bad guys and destroy the core of their ship. So I've basically just dashed into their core. I'm breaking down the shields for it. And there's the core of the ship. Just give it a good smash, and their boat sinks. The end. That's the battle. So again, it's very similar to the original Rocket Slime, but you know, the change to boats and the big ocean, there's a much more emphasis on exploration and just kind of sailing around like you do in a normal Dragon Quest game, and I really think it makes a big difference for the overall feel and flow of the game. It feels much less like a kind of linear kids game and more like, you know, a little mini RPG, and it's a lot of fun. So, you know, you can sail around and go to different lands. I'm headed up north now. Oops. Except I'm not headed north at all. So yeah, let's head north on the Grand Ocean and check out a new town. So those you can see the locations where you can land because they're kind of isolated as separate locations. You can pick up stuff on the sea, including a bomb fragment, and all these things are items you can load into your boat's cannons to launch at the bad guys, and you can also use them as trade items. When you talk to people, you can buy stuff. You can then go on little quests, kind of like Dragon Quest IX for people, and they'll ask for you basically to provide them with certain things, and they'll give you stuff in trade. And doesn't look like there's much going on in this little port, but that's okay because there's so much more to explore. And I'll be continuing to play this on and off a little bit. Even though it's Japanese language, it's very simple Japanese. It's meant for kind of all ages. And, you know, I think the kind of charm and fun of it really comes through. And again, it hasn't been announced for US release, but I would expect to see it from Nintendo sometime in 2012. And I think it will be just as fun as the last Rocket Slime, which means that everyone should play it, because who doesn't love happiness?